Okay. Hey, come over here. It's like bare naked.
Shh! Shut up and listen to Tony.
Joanna, because I like her. I'm not gonna let her sit alone.
Couldn't find a lap.
This is so dark.
Justin and Brennan recently came to visit me and Aaron despite our numerous protests. And Aaron's objections. Showed up. And it was Dustin's birthday. Other story.
She still didn't like it.
But we sat around and we started playing a song. And the chorus is, it ain't what I came here to do, but it'll do. And we spent like 3 hours, and all we did was trade stories that you cannot put on your VRF. You can tell in front of us. So, like, for instance,
You're messing my hair up.
this is, and I'll just think of a new one, but like, for instance, like, so I was playing it, and then my story was about how, like, I put my bag on top of a minibus, and then I went to check on it because there was just a guy looking at it. And that, it makes me nervous. So I get out, and there's a goat, and I just like kiss it on the lips. Because we're like right next to each other. And there's no way to report that. But it's what we do. Whatever works. So if you have any story, it can be whatever you want. It can be dirty, funny. Try not to be too inspirational. We've had a lot of that today. No inspiration.
We just this for the downtrodden.
If you're going to tell a tearful story, that'd be really, don't try it out. Like, this has got to be really road-tested tearful story. And so, like, all the choruses, and in my 3 beers deep confession, I've forgotten the chorus. The chords that I wrote. So I gotta write new chords.
We'll figure it out.
Give me a second.
It's an A minor for all those music majors.
The magic will come back.
So who was
G is involved.
one of the people in our living room?
She was once involved.
Yeah, I think like it was Bamble. Here's what it said. Good, I'm so glad. What'd you do to your house? Your mom's house? Oh. Back here? No, don't say that about your mom. We'll get it. My story's good.
Oh, hold on. I got it. Can we just be quiet? It's really rude.
We all gather around the fire one. I'll speak for
It's
myself.
actually going to just
Oh, it was an F sharp.
not cool. You should have more
Not call, please.
Didn't plan for that one, did you?
If you're scoring at home. F,
I did just slam my chest into the chair.
no. C to G. All right, so we're going to do a practice run, okay?
For real, guys. I'm glad you rehearsed.
No time. No time to take that shit out.
Yeah, Tony.
That's hard. Good idea.
So this is what it's going to be like. When you'll talk over it.
We're all William Shatner at this point.
And whenever you're done with your story, then we go.
It ain't what I came here to do. It'll do.
2 times.
What I came here to do.
It'll do.
One more time. Again. No, it ain't what I came here to do. But it'll do. Just for the Pentecost.
Hey, what I came here to do.
All right, so Justin, you go first.
Well, I reckon it was probably about 12 months ago. I was at my old house, so I had this like Western style toilet, but it was one of those that didn't flush, so you had to get like the bucket and like stand on it and pour from all the way to the ceiling to actually get it to flush. And I was pissing into it, I won't lie. And then, as often happens when you're pissing, you're like, well, I got a fart coming on. So I'm like, well, might as well. It's not like Laura's not here, so I'm like, let it rip.
That's sweet.
But it wasn't a fart at all. It was, it turned out I was sick and I just didn't know it because it was just,
Sneaks up on.
That was a whoopsie poopsie.
yeah. And the irony being that so many of these, oh, I shit my pants stories, they came at the most inappropriate times or places. I was in my bathroom, this far from the toilet, but it was too late. So, you know, I figure, well, let's think logically. Luckily, I have my shower in my shin, but this is another extremely convenient. I load all of these dirty, soiled clothings that I resolved never to wear again into a bag. And I know that I'm leaving Dimbidolo the next day, and I have the perfect plan. I can't throw it down the shimp bed. I've got a Western-style toilet. But there is a vacant lot between my house and the bus station. And there it is, overgrown past my head, and I'm thinking all I have to do is alter my route to the bus station, over the fence, and I'm golden. This never happened. So the next morning, I reckon it's probably 4:30, 4:45. I am on my way to the bus station. I take my alternate route, and there I am with my kind of phone. I turn out the phone. I go black, as it were. And as I'm walking, I just shoot. As the bag is in midair, I am covered with white light from a flashlight down in the road. And it's a police officer. And he asked me what I'm doing. And I don't know why I did this, but I just pretended to be drunk and asked him where the bus station was. And he gave me directions. And for the next 2 weeks, I just felt so guilty for littering.
It ain't what it needs to do. Do. It ain't what I came here to do. Do.
So, if you ask anybody about Kamise, one thing they say is it's hot. And if you walk from the college all the way back to your house, you sweat a lot. Your clothes are soiled. So you cross into the threshold, you close your door, you strip down to nothing, because that's the way that you cool off in the afternoon. But if you happen to have an intrusive landlord, Muhammad, he doesn't think to knock. You've asked before. And after about a year, normally you kind of duck around your 3/4 wall and you try to hide and get, some shorts on. But one day you think, no, I'm going to teach him to knock. So he jumps into the thing and you're standing there and you have to wonder to yourself, what do I do? And in that moment, you stand, you put your hands on your hips, and you look Muhammad in the eyes, thinking that sometime Muhammad's going to look down and realize he's made a mistake. But Muhammad does not. Instead, Muhammad tells you that the Quran tells you to pray. He translates the prayer, and you hear it in the background. And then he says thank you, and he leaves. And you realize, that's my life.
It ain't what I came here to do. What it'll do. No, it ain't what I came here to do. What it'll do.
Anybody want to go next? Feel free to go or not go.
All right.
Dan Thornton.
So
Raise yourselves.
maybe you want to come to Addis. There's no easy way to come to Addis. We all know this. But there is an easier way in my sight. You take the vomit
Airplane.
comet, which I've named that because it leaves at 2 a.m. from my sight, and the man drives like a bat out of hell. And you're sitting there. So you're sitting there, you're waiting for the vomit comet, and somebody flashes the light in your eyes and is like, do not be afraid. And I'm like, but I'm afraid. And the vomit comet gets on, you're speeding down the road, you pick somebody up in a Rekka, and all of a sudden you smell that smell. You know what that smell is. It's vomit. You know that it's vomit. Everybody looks around in confusion, but no, it's vomit. Don't worry about that. And the driver pulls over and he gets out. He's like, why does it smell like shit in here? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And so he keeps on driving, pulls over one more time, and it says, "Why does it smell like shit in here?" And one guy raises his hand and says, "Because I vomited." And I'm still vomiting. So they go outside the van, he's throwing up. They obviously bring dirt in, cover it with vomit, because that's safe. That's just what we do. And then proceed to pour eucalyptus leaf inside the van, where you're just like, "Mother of God, let's just go." And so they get in. So all of the while, you hear this guy vomiting in the background. You're smelling the eucalyptus, and you get into Addis, and you're like, "Hey, it might have not been so bad, but at least I had the window open."
Hey, what are you here to do? But it'll do. Oh, it ain't what I came here to do. But it'll do.
So we have a dog, Chelsea, eh? Chelsea ran away one day, and we said, "Oh no, where's Chelsea?" So I went out with a piece of meat that I thought was good, and went out the street looking for her. Sure enough, I found her down the street, gave her the meat to grab her. Turns out the meat was rotten. I was holding the dog. She starts vomiting up the meat. The smell was so bad. A single tear. And I knew I was at home.
No, it ain't what I came here to do. But it'll do.
Go ahead, Chad. So my site mate, first thing he tells me when I get there, hi. So at some point in your time, you're gonna tackle a kid. And I'm like, no, I don't tackle kids. I'm a software guy. I'm a teacher. I teach them. I don't tackle them.
Talk louder.
So, what?
Talk louder, teacher.
Sorry. So my site mate said that I was gonna tackle something. I didn't.
You got it.
Okay, so one day I'm running on my normal run on my run, and these little children throw the rock across my path. For the fifth time, I don't know, what time. Normally I'm okay. I turn and I pull straight towards them. I don't know what I'm doing. Running at their full speed. They're freaking out, going in all directions. I pass by the kid who just throws, he's probably gonna throw a rock at Patrick's head. I keep running. And I catch up this one kid. He can't run fast enough. I lift him up. I just lift him up like he's a child of God. And I literally just drop him. Yes, I did. But then I'm like, oh my God. I patted him on the head. And I said, "Kid, see you later."
Ain't what I came here to do. But it'll do. It ain't what I came here to do. But it'll do.
Alright, Dave from Masha.
Davey.
This is a story about the universal understanding of the word fuck. Having a girlfriend all the way across the continent, I don't get to see much vagina. But sometimes life smiles upon me. So I'm having breakfast in Masha with 3 other Ferengi. Our town crazy, who's a strange woman, sees all these Ferengi focused in one place and decides that she's going to come in and yell at the waiter for serving so many white people. This is my dambanya. This is my goddamn banya. And I wasn't having it. So she's going off and chicanery. And I said, Koi, why don't you go fuck yourself? And she lifted her skirt.
Ain't what I came here to do. But it'll do. came here to do. But it'll do.
So, Dave's story reminded me of a story.
Really?
No, the other gender did, however. Thor and I and Forrest, our G8 site mate, went on a hike on this one mountain in Aviati.
Keep going.
And we got to the top of the mountain. We saw the school up there. Yes, there's a school on top of this mountain, village. It was nice. And on our way down, we heard this woman hollering, and we're like, oh God, okay, someone wants to say hi to us, cool. So we all stop, and we're waving, and she's like, no, wait, like, stop. And we're like, oh God. So we stop, and she's running towards, laughing already. She runs towards us, and then she's like, okay, and she's saying so much in Tigrinya, and all three of us are trying really hard to understand, like, what could she be saying? We greet her, and we're like, what, again? And then she's like calling over someone, and we're like, oh God, okay. So we look over, like, okay, she's calling her kid over to say hi to us, okay? This adult man, like, comes over in chains.
Did you go to purgatory?
His ankles are chained, and he comes hopping. like over the farmland, and Tigray is very, very rocky. So this man is hopping through the rocks, and we're just like, and I immediately turned to like both Forrest and Thor, and I'm like, guys, I'm leaving. And they're like, no, let's see what this is. This man hops all the way over to us, and I'm like, okay, I guess we're just gonna say hello or something. And his mother or sister, whoever this woman was, just lifts up his shirt, no pants, nothing on. And I'm like, oh! It's like 9 a.m. Like, I'm taking off. And you can continue that story. But yeah.
Yeah, so after that, Allie went a safe distance away. And, the dude just hopped away. He hopped all the way back up the hill. We couldn't figure out what this woman wanted from us. She invited us for shy later. And I said, no, we're gonna go ahead and go back to town.
No, it ain't what I came here to do, but it'll do.
Oh, hey. All right, so, in our town, like so many other towns, we have a crazy person. Shocking, right? And Sammy just, he's refused mental health support for many, many years. But recently we had a visitor in our town, and he grabbed her boob. And so Kim and I told a Suko and her friend, and she told the police, and the police arrested him. After that, Sammy disappeared for a long time. After a few months, we were like, wow, Sammy hasn't been bothering us. I wonder what's up. Of course, it was too good to last. Sammy returned. It turned out that Sammy had been chained in his own house for a couple months, which we had mixed feelings about. But now, when Sammy returned, he was wearing a shirt that had a giant American flag across the front. And he's our crazy.
No,
it ain't what I came here to do, but it'll do.
Alright, I have a story. Well, Ark is a hell of a drug. Aaron doesn't know this story, actually. Not telling it. Well, so safety numbers. Here's the arcade bed. It's like a famous arcade bed in Riverhan. Everyone's like, oh, you're going to Riverhan? Go to the old lady that's going to feed you honey from her palm. It's like, it's on all the Zagat guidebooks. So, we're kind of regulars at this part, but this is one of the first time we've gone. and I've had like 7 RKs. Aaron, meanwhile, is talking to this like old English teacher from the 1920s who's putting straight garlic in his RK.
Aw.
Well, and then the owner covered in cats, she gives me another one. I'm like, okay, this is my last one. We end up going home. Well, it turns out that's my brain's last chance, apparently in the middle of the night, to just like remind me, what the hell am I doing? So I wake up, and I have no idea where I am in the morning. It's probably like 3 in the morning. I hear someone screaming over a loudspeaker, and I don't know what it means. I've lived in sight for like a year by now, but my brain's like, nope, this no longer makes sense. I hear hyenas. That makes sense. I don't know where I am. I also don't understand like where I am in relation to the room. I know Erin's next to me, and I know enough to know that if I wake Erin up right now, she's gonna be mad at me. So I try to discover this room. Slowly the pieces start falling into place. I'm like, a little bit. Well, I'm like feeling against the dresser, being like, maybe I'm in my high school home. Am I in high school? The dream is just such a fog. Well, I kick the chamber pot with my foot, does not spill, but it gets dangerously close. And then Erin turns on the lights, and she's like, what are you doing? And I say, like, I really, really like it here. It was a great meeting today. Go to bed.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So one day in Atsby, I was walking to lunch to Salam's house. Great food. As I'm walking there, it's like 50 yards from my house. I hear 2. They're probably 18, 19, maybe 20. One of them says money to me, and I figured usually in my sight, if someone says money to me and they're within grabbing distance, I'll grab them. But these guys weren't. So they said money to me. I kept walking. Right before I entered the restaurant, they said money again. So I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing this. I took off after them. I ran and ran. I chased them onto the primary school compound. And they kept running, and eventually, I think I yelled like Leba or something like that.
Bold move.
Yeah, it was very, very bold. I wasn't able to catch them, unfortunately, but the administration from the compound, the primary school, was able to catch them. So we brought them back. I told them what they did. It wasn't a big deal, but the administration thought it prudent to take them to the police station. So as we were walking out of the compound to the police station, I scolded these guys, for saying money and being balagay and all that stuff. But I think the real knife in the back was that I told them, you're a lazy runner. You let a Ferengi catch you. It ain't what I came here to do, but it'll do.
I got one. Oh, here we go.
Didn't see you there.
We all have. I've got shorts on.
I got shorts.
We all have well, not all of us, but a lot of us have shit our pants stories, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna one up that a little bit. It is.
Yeah.
Here I am in Haruta.
Haruta! Woo!
It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. We had been in a cella and ate that shitty buffet food. And I feel like, oh shit, I might have to poop right now. It's 1 in the morning. I don't want to do that in my little, pee pan. So, I better make this run out to the shin station. But normally I don't wear socks to bed, but for some reason I had worn socks then. So I had to put on my hiking boots. Yeah, it was, and then I was like, well, I don't need to tie them. I'm just going up to the shin bait. So I opened my door to my bedroom, and I really have to shit. And I'm like, oh my God. And then the next thing I remember is my host dad screaming at me while I'm on the floor. And I'm like, what's happening? My face hurts. Well, what's going on? And there I am in the hallway with my host dad screaming, shit my pants. Yeah, And so that's not the worst, maybe, because I had broken my nose. Which, okay, cool, I've done that before. But I still have to shit. So, like, my host mom hauls me out to the shit bed. My host dad takes my pants off. And is holding me over the shit bed as I'm shitting. Honestly, this is the first time I had ever heard the word I zone. So he's saying, I zone. Try not to look at me because I'm naked from the waist down. And then, I had to have my host mother come in and wash me like a baby. I'm calling Wahib while I'm shitting over the shit bed. I think I broke my nose. And he's like, okay. Let me step out. I'm at the club. Here I am shitting while he's at the club. And yeah, that might be the worst way to shit yourself. Alright.
It ain't what I came here to do, but it'll do. It ain't what I came here to do, but it'll do.
Are we singing it twice or what?
It's the volunteers before we get to the second round, and now we gotta go to the third time.
No, it ain't what I came here to do, but it'll do.
All right, I think we all know what a pleasure it is to travel with Dave. He has the best luck ever. Yeah. So we're in Bonga and we're catching.
Wait, is that sarcasm or is
that?
sarcasm?
Maybe we all don't know what a pleasure it is to travel with Dave. Dave, he can never get point A to point B seamlessly. He's always got some sort of flaw, and I think even this story doesn't even top the top of the worst for Dave. But we were in Bonga and we were getting up at 5 in the morning. Because we got to get to the bus, and when we wake up it's pouring rain, which is awesome in general, but there's tons of mud, and 5 in the morning we're all standing at the gate and we're running and slipping and falling, and it's muddy, and we get on the bus and we're really glad because we get a seat, and then we wait for an hour and a half, and then finally the bus decides to go, and so we're going along and everything's fine, and then the bus stops. And Dave's like, oh, don't worry, this happens all the time. This never happens when I'm on a bus. So we wait for a while, everyone gets off, they do some stuff, and maybe 20 minutes, maybe an hour later, they fix it, and we all get back on, and we start going again. We go for a little while, and I feel like we should be there, but we're not yet. And then the bus stops again. And Dave's like, I think I jinxed us. And I was like, I don't really quite know what you mean, but so everyone gets off again, and we see some Jima City bus goes by, so I know that we're real close, but we're waiting for a long time, it must have been 2 hours or something, and they try to get the bus to go, and then it starts going backwards, and we watch it go all the way back there, and I'm like, what's going on? Dave's like, they're just trying to start it. He knows exactly what's going on. This is the first time it's ever happened to me. And we're watching Jima City buses go by. I know the town can't be that far. So 2 hours and 20 minutes was it? Goes by, and finally we're like, okay, the sun's hot, and we're let's just walk back down there to the bus and see what's going on. And we're walking, and it's far, and we finally get there, and the bus starts up, and it's ready to go. So we get back on, and we were literally 20 minutes outside of town.